Good morning and welcome to Love Every Moment, coming to you today from Glen, New Hampshire. Today's verse is Matthew 6:5. It says, "When you pray, you are not to be like the hypocrites, for they love to stand and pray in the synagogues and on the street corners so that they may be seen by men. Truly I say to you, they have their reward in full." I really love these exaggerated examples, this hyperbole that Jesus uses. I'm glad he actually gives us bad examples of prayer and not just positive ones, so we can know what to avoid as well as the correct way to pray. So as I talk about this, I'm actually going to go backwards in it. I'm going to start with the very end. They have their reward in full. Remember that I am saying that the real reward for Christians for doing this correctly is that we will be closer to Him. That, to me, is the best reward. Not monetary stuff, not crowns. Being closer to Jesus. But these people, these hypocrites who are praying with a showmanship, their reward is just being admired by men, something that will be fleeting. It's not really what we want. The second to last part says praying on the street corners, essentially praying out in public and making a big show of it. And you may say, well, we Christians don't do that. Oh, yes, we do. Sure, let me give you a few examples. Some of the National Day of Prayer things, they make a big example of prayer with the television cameras and everything to make sure it gets broadcast. If we are making sure it gets broadcast, I think we're quite possibly in violation of Matthew 6:5. How about this? The See You at the Pole event that happens in September at high schools and other schools around the country, where kids gather around the flagpole to pray. They gather around the flagpole because it's public. They don't ask to go into a room and pray privately. They want it to be out in public to make a show of this. Why? Not sure, but I think it again is in danger of violating Matthew 6:5. Some Christians will clamor, we need more prayer in schools. And I guess they're thinking of some sort of school-led prayer over the intercom or something like that. Are you kidding me? You want a public prayer that is actually created and run by the government? I can't believe we would even consider that. I would be fully in favor of having a private school classroom where Christians can go to pray privately. I think that's great, but a big show? I don't think that's what Jesus has in mind. Sometimes in restaurants we'll pray. Now a little discreet prayer that not many can notice, fine. But if we make this big holy epic about it, and I've seen that in restaurants, I think again we're in violation of what Jesus is saying here, Matthew 6:5. My favorite one is certain football players, and they'll score a touchdown and then they'll drop to a knee and, obviously thank God for a touchdown. I'm thankful to God, but for a touchdown? And to make sure it's done on camera, I think that's maybe pushing this boundary just a little bit. So, yes, we don't want to make it a show in the public. What about in the synagogues or for us in churches? Well, of course we're to pray in churches. Why wouldn't we? But we can make a show out of it or have the wrong reasons. Let's look at a cross-reference here. Luke 18:10. Two men went up into the temple to pray, one a Pharisee, the other a tax collector. The Pharisee stood and was praying, God, I thank you that I am not like other people, swindlers, unjust, adulterers, or even like this tax collector. I fast twice a week. I pay tithes of all that I get. But the tax collector, standing some distance away, was even unwilling to lift up his eyes to heaven, but was beating his breast, saying, God, be merciful to me, the sinner. I tell you, this man went to his house justified rather than the other. For everyone who exalts himself will be humbled, but he who humbles himself will be exalted. This is the key. If we're doing things as a show, we're exalting ourselves. We're not exalting God. We want to humble ourselves and exalt Him. That's where the love is. Because if we love every moment, we're going to love every moment. I'm your average wretch, and I hope you have a great week.